Every now and then you run across a person in the Bible where you can clearly see if God had not used that person, his people could have been completely wiped out. You might think of Noah with the ark, Joseph, Moses, Joshua. But a person that comes to my mind right away is a wonderful woman named Esther. Esther lived at the end of Old Testament times in the land of Babylon, except at this time, Persia and historically famous King Xerxes were in control. Well, King Xerxes got sick of his wife and just dumped the queen like a sack of potatoes. And so he had this strange tryout for a new wife and queen, kind of like his own version of Persia's Got Talent or something like this. One of the many women that tried out for this was a woman named Hadassah, a beautiful young orphan girl. But she wanted to hide her Jewish nationality, so she went by the name Esther. And sure enough, Xerxes fell for Esther, both her outer qualities of her looks and her inner quality and character, and Esther became the new queen, though he didn't know that she was a Jew yet. God put this to use immediately. He used Esther and her adopting father Mordecai to expose an assassination plot on King Xerxes and save his life. But bigger things yet were still to come. Later on in the story of Esther, there was a Persian who absolutely hated Mordecai and all Jews. And he put together this plot that was set in motion to exterminate every Jew from existence. It was going to be a total Holocaust before the Holocaust that we know of. Well, Esther did something that no person was allowed to do. She approached the king without permission. This was punishable by death, even for the queen, but Esther would not sit back and just let this happen. Xerxes loved his dear wife, though, and actually spared her, and then God used her wisdom and creativity to foil this plot too. The Jews were saved, and more importantly, God preserved the family line for our Savior to come several hundred years in the future. Esther's actions were so monumentally big that even still today, Jews still celebrate this with the festival called Purim. Esther shows us what makes a great woman of faith. She was meek and mild, and yet courageous and fearless when need be. She was a woman who trusted her life into God's hands to do what is right in His sight. Thank God for great women of faith like Esther.